This is Happiness Matters Podcast Edition. I'm Goddess Valentina, the healing goddess, and I'm here to leave a positive message of hope, inspiration, and just enlightenment. I want to give to the universe. I want to donate something positive to help anyone that's willing to listen and to gain any insight. And I just hope that it'd be a blessing for you. Today, I want to talk about something that is like chilling to me, and I'm very a novice with this, but as an energy healer, you need to study energy. And someone close to me, a family relative, he's had a very troubled life, and now he's waiting for, the sentencing. And anyway, so the family's been praying for him, and I wanted to do a 9-day prayer, and I make energy candles, and the glass was completely black. And so I went on YouTube to find out what that is. And I went online, to get different perspectives, different things. And what I did was I took my camera, because with the camera, you could see different things that you can't see with the naked eye. And so I took my camera and I videotaped it, and I slowly just moved the candle around. And what I saw was very disturbing. I saw that the wax was cracked. I saw lines in the wax. I saw all kinds of disgusting faces. It looked like a cluster of grapes. It looked like big gargoyles and stuff. And I was just like, oh my God, I got totally freaked out. And my candles have a lid on it, so I said, in the name of God, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, you know what I mean? I rebuke all of this. I poured salt in it. I put holy water on it. I rebuked it, and I poured a whole bunch of salt in a bag. And I had my husband take it outside, and then this morning the truck throw it in the truck, and I heard the glass break, and it went on its way. So I didn't want to break that in the house. I just wanted to go, just leave. And here's the thing, I kind of get an idea of respect of when people say, if the candle is dark, continue burning, stop it, break it, and then, cleanse yourself, sage the area, and then, maybe take a bath and then start burning candles again. Here's the thing. I'm an energy healer. I create an angelic blends. And it's an incense blends. It's a form of smudging like the Native Americans. And I work with 100 different herbs. And these herbs will cleanse, break, remove, seal, heal, radiate, illuminate your auric fields. Our biofield is 6 feet from our physical body. And also when you're using angelic blends, it goes up into the ethers. It cleanses, removes, blocks any kind of hooks, cords, any kind of stuff that you might have going on. It's a real full blast. And what I'm getting is that, one, I'm not in the type of business where I'm burning candles for people and all that kind of stuff. No, I deal with cleansing your energy field and for people to have prosperity and manifestation. I do feel that if you are burning candles and if you're still behaving the same way, and if you haven't had any forgiveness or any remorse, if you haven't done any spiritual cleanse, that even though it might be it might clear the path, but there'll still be always this residue around you. I really believe that if you really are into this type of spiritual work, that a spiritual cleanse is so vital, important. At first, I was second guessing myself. I said, oh my God, I wonder if it's the candles that I'm selling, is it, I was just trying to be naive and not think of these things. But when I saw the candle in the video camera, I was so disturbed. And also, if anybody is interested in seeing it, I don't know how to post the videos right now on YouTube. If they want to give me a deeper interpretation, you know what? Scratch that. I don't want any more deeper interpretation. The images alone was enough. But oh my goodness, I'm going to be honest with you. I never had a black candle at anything that I was working towards. I had a candle flicker. And for 3 years, I was burning a candle, especially the last year and a half. I was doing dedicated candle work for my prayer and intention. And to me, it was to show faithfulness because I had no idea what was going on in the back end, but I knew I felt it was something massive and that there was something, only God can do that. Only God can cleanse that. Only God can make that turn around. And he did. A miracle happened and everything worked out wonderful. But I had to continue to be faithful and to do the dedicated work and not give up, even when, I didn't see anything. I didn't feel anything, but it was way bigger than me, and it dealt with immigration, My energy was always clear. My energy was always clean, but sometimes our energy is not, and that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, yes, when you take those cleansing baths, yeah, they're very helpful. They cleanse your physical body and and they do radiate you, but you need a full smoke cleanse with the medicinal properties of the herbs going around your energetic body. That is the most powerful thing. It will move those black clouds. It will move black eyes. It will move all kinds of hooks, all kinds of negativity. It will remove all of that. And also, as it's removing, it will heighten the areas that need to be heightened. It will seal the areas that need to be sealed in your aura, and your aura will be brightened. My clients are so wow, you feel it on the first, if it's your first time. Excuse me, if it's your first time, you feel it. You feel the difference of what you are carrying and what you're not carrying. And I truly believe that once you really do a few sessions with your angelic blends and you really cleanse yourself, then you can start to burn your candle with your situation. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of that stuff is going to burn clean. Your candle will burn clean. You know what I mean? And then it'll just be your prayers just illuminating up. It's, to me, when I'm looking at it, it's like, wow, your candle not only is trying to send your prayers, but also is cleansing the situation at the same time. That's just way too much work for a little candle to do. No wonder candles break. No wonder candles pop. You know what I mean? No wonder all this stuff is happening. I didn't understand what was going on, like smoke coming from candles. I mean, this candle that I was burning, the flame was an angry orange and emitting black smoke. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, is there a defect with the candle? You know what I mean? I'm thinking that. But then when I look at other videos, no. And then when my other clients, when they send me pictures or videos of their candles are beautiful, burning straight because they've done in my angelic blends. They have cleansed themselves. And, their candles are burning straight up. They might flicker a little, but it's a bright, beautiful flame, and they burn straight up. And there's no interference. And it's just their prayers going straight up. And that's what we want. We want our prayers to go straight up. We don't want our candles to be cleansing the situation as well as it going up. I mean, that's why you need to have helper candles and all of these candles doing all this work. That's a lot of work to be doing when you can, have a customized angelic blends made for you, and you could cleanse, you could do a full turbo blast. So that way, when you start to do your prayers, you can get right down to it, That's what we want. We want to get right down to it, especially if you're a person that likes praying with candles or likes doing intentions with candles, which a lot of people do, But it's just the same if you're praying and your energy field is really murky. Yes, prayers are heard, absolutely. But they'll be heard louder and clear once you are cleansed, once you are more purified, once you have all of these blocks and negativities moved off you. Absolutely. You have to, you have to get through the muck and mire of all those kind of things, and I totally believe the cleaner you are, the faster things move because you don't have all those blockages. If you're in an argument with somebody, cleanse yourself, cleanse your home, cleanse your environment. If things are not going well, cleanse yourself. But also you need to monitor your behavior. Like, what was my part in this? Did I contribute this? Did I do something to this? Did I warrant this? Did I do little bitty snappy remarks? Was I gossiping? Was I doing something decisive or manipulative? We had to be accountable for our feelings, our emotions too. It's not that we are just not victimized people, like we're all perfect and all people are just constantly hurting us. That's not the case here. I mean, there's some people that might just really not like you at all, and that there's a Ho'oponopono. There's a Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono, and it says, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you." And it's really, you're saying this to yourself, to your spirit, like there's energies that we give off that may rub people the wrong way, and it's just our stuff. Could be our DNA, could be our stuff that we inherited. So you want to talk to yourself like, "I'm sorry for what I don't know, please forgive me, I love you, for coming and showing me about this about myself, and thank you. So now I have the ability to change my behavior." You know what I mean? So, people, you're not, everyone's not going to always like you. And people say that, if everyone likes you, then you're not doing your job because, you sometimes you need to ruffle some feathers, which is true too. But you want to have more harmony than discord. You know what I mean? If you're having a lot of discord and stuff like that, then you need to really see, like, what are you doing? Is your thinking wise? I have enlightenment readings that could help you with more heightened wisdom. And some things are just simple as, just daily devotion practice, and it could be other things like monitor your negative thoughts, which can cause you setbacks in your life. And it's not always being spiteful and being pissed off at somebody else. It's like, I need to check myself. I need to check what I'm doing. I'm talking really fast because I'm just like so passionate, because this was just so huge for me to see all this activity in my family's candle that was burning for somebody. And then now I did a video before. I said I wasn't burning any candles for anybody, and I really meant that. But I was just, I guess, going back into my rainbows and unicorn land and saying, "Oh, I want to burn a candle for my family relative, But, I really don't want that. I really don't want to see those type of things, even though, sometimes you might need to, but I really don't, because my candles don't burn this way. My incense and, the things in my life I cleanse constantly all the time. And I have a very strong shield around me. And we should all do that. We should all do that. We leave energetic footprints where we sit. You never saw someone that sit and it was their favorite chair and they sat there and you could just feel their energy and their vibration in their chair. Well, we do that when we're sitting in trains, when we are in conference rooms, when we're in public places. We pick up little bits of this and that, and that's why we cleanse our clothes and wash the energy off our clothes. And that's why we should always continue to cleanse ourselves with a smudging, with that herbal blend that is customized for you. And this is so essential. This stuff, and it says in the Bible, in Psalms, I think it's 51 verse 1 or 51 verse 3, "Cleanse me with hyssop and I shall be clean," like whiter than snow. Like hyssop is one of the strongest cleansing herbs. You know what I mean? Even if you bought some in a store and got into and boiled it and poured it in your bath water, you would feel significantly different. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole process. It's not just burning a candle and saying, "This is what I want," and you burn a candle. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, are you kidding me? No wonder candles are popping and breaking. Like, what are you doing as a person? Like, how are you improving yourself? Like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, a situation needs cleansing. It needs purification. It needs petitions. It's a whole practice. You need to be building merit, and merit is the betterment of other people. Like, you need to be building merit, so when you need it, you can cash in like a 401k. You know what I mean? What are you doing to improve the quality of your life? It's not just burning a candle and it's turning black and you buy another candle. handle. No, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, I'm so passionate about this. Like, I want to cry because I care about the people out there. I really, 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 really do. And out of everything that I do in my shop, okay, the angelic blends is the most important thing. It changed my life. It saved my life. It saved my life. You know, as you become more open with your gifts, the veil gets lifted and you start getting downloads from divine inspiration and in divine intelligence. And I was able to, God blessed me with this gift, and I was able to put the herbs together through his divine direction. And it cleansed me. I felt bleached. I felt so squeaky clean. And it was a feeling that I will never forget. And my healer said that it looked like I had rainbows. She says, you have rainbows around your aura, multiple rainbows. And that meant so much to me, And now when I do my angelic blends formula, my formula is less and less of herbs because there's less and less things that I need. And so everything is operating, at a high level. And, I might do angelic blends maybe every 3 weeks or so, depending on the activity. If I'm more out on the street, then I might do it once a week. If I'm not, I might do it every 3 weeks or so. If I feel that I'm in the street and I have black people staring at me, like just staring at me, to me, I find that quite disturbing, so I definitely do a cleansing too. I'm not sure what kind of energy, they're putting towards me. So let's just safety first. And I just cleanse myself. And it's just great. A little goes a long way. If you want to contact me, my email is happinessmatters88@aol.com. Like, I don't know about situations and, oh, my husband left me, or there's a lady, a man, someone stole my job. I don't know nothing about that kind of stuff. That's not the type of work I do. But if you're interested in purchasing and getting a customized formula to cleanse yourself and start to improve your life, that's where I come in. All I do is, I go into my sacred space and I let the divine intelligence come through and we start working and I start building your formula, and that's the way it goes. And, I'll send your formula out. You pay. I send your formula out, and I send you some other blessings in your kit, and we keep going. That's what I do. I am not in charge of any of those things. I don't mess with all of that kind of stuff. I believe in free will. I don't want my free will inflicted, and I believe that nobody else wants their free will inflicted. I want what's the highest good for me. Just because we think this person is for us, they might not be. People might disagree with this, but we have to always know and believe that there is something greater for us. If someone loves you and wants to be with you, they're going to be with you, no matter what. And sometimes there might be a little space involved that they need to think or whatever. But if it's meant for you to be together, love will come back to you without you doing anything. It's your time, your space to live your life, to figure out who you are and to bring cleansing to the situation. You know what I mean? Like, why would you want someone that left you? Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's frustrating and you want revenge and all that kind of stuff. But that's what karma is for. That's what the universal energy is, fair and just system. We don't need to be getting involved in any of it. What we need to be doing is keeping our energy clean, keeping our spirits high, keeping us focused on, our God, you know what I mean? And know what he can do for us, and the blessings bestowed upon us. And I'm telling you from life experiences, I've had some hard things too. I was with somebody for a while and, for 4 years, and he was a very troubling person. And I'm always bailing him out, getting him out of this trouble and that trouble and going into dangerous territories and all kinds of things, lowering my energy shield, lowering my vibration. When I look at pictures from when I was with him, oh my God, I had some murkiness around me. When I look at my pictures now, they're bright, but like, wow, like, really get into this work, I realized like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes people can bring us down because we're exerting too much energy the wrong way. You know what I mean? So like, When that person left my life, I came devoted and just stay faithful, asked for cleansing, purification. I did everything I need was possible. And boom, within 4 months, my whole life turned around. I got a job that I was unemployed for 2 years. I got a job that my salary increased significantly. I got a new place within 4 months. Like, when I got married a year later. Like, oh my God, like all these things happen, and it's focusing on God. It's not focusing on revenge or wrath or being spiteful or hateful. None of that. No, 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 it's not that at all. And I do believe in burning candles for, your intentions, your heart, Candles should be a beautiful practice of just burning a beautiful candle of a color that reflects with what you're working with, and just burn it, all of this other stuff, that's just way too Ghostbusters for me. It really is. But it's out there. I can't be naive to it. I can't be naive that everything is rainbows and unicorns. I can't do that. But I do know this. People need to cleanse and purify themselves. And if I'm being prayerful and the person is not, it's a waste of time and effort. You know what I mean? Especially like if you're working for a new job, if you're working for change, you really need to be so dedicated and focused on what you're doing and cleansing yourself and purifying yourself, and stop any kind of ratchet ways that you might have. Stop giving into those temptations. Just stop for a while and just focus on your intention. Focus on what really matters, This is the message today. This is what it's about. And, I'm about manifestation. I'm about cleansing. I'm about giving people the clear path to choose. Like, there's so much work out there that needs to be done. And people just really need to stop just being in their own thing. It's an easy path. But there's ways to do it, and there's multiple ways, of course. Yes, you can burn multiple candles, and eventually, some of it will become clear. If you continue to burn them, But why put the candle through so much work? They just you should say they're cleansing candles for the path, because once you finish burning your candles for all those days, then it's the pathway to start bringing in prayers. But that's just for one scenario. Don't you want to be cleansed for any scenario that you're in? Don't you want all of that stuff removed off you? Don't you want that? I mean, we build up so much stuff from when we were a child all the way up, being with multiple partners, going through all this kind of stuff. Anyone that's had any kind of trauma, if you had surgeries that or accidents or whatever, and your aura is not sealed, you just have so much going on, and we need to be sealed, purified, radiated, and brightened, and so our life can change. This is the way. This is the way. I'm sorry to talk like this, but I'm so passionate, and I've seen a lot of things, I've seen enough. I mean, there's so much way more stuff, but I've seen enough. And hatefulness, spitefulness, revenge, that is not my territory. That's for, if you have a god or goddesses or whatever you guys have out there, that's their job to do that for you. It's not for you to be getting graveyard stuff and hair and shit and cutting nails. I mean, what is all of that? That's not in the holy text. I mean, maybe in your faith that is a part of your holy text, but you need to keep yourself as pure as possible. You need to not be dabbling in any of that kind of stuff. But that's not for me to say. I mean, I feel that, but in some faiths, that is part of their faith. And who am I to say anything? If it works for you, it works for you. But you shouldn't always have to be doing something. Yes, I do angelic blends to maintain. I did the full blast and I maintained myself. And if you're someone that, is just like want an easy lifestyle, then you could do it every couple of months. You know what I mean? Cleanse yourself and keep it moving. Very simple. Carrying crystals heightens your energy. Crystals can't be corrupted. Crystals are my best friends. I love crystals, and they love you, and they have a lot to say. If you're in tune to hearing them, they have a lot to say, and they're wonderful teachers. I can go on for days, which I won't go on for days, but I'm just saying, like, let your candles bring your prayers up, and do the smudging, the incense burning, the cleansing with herbs. Cleanse yourself, do your spiritual baths. Cleanse yourself first. Okay? Write down a petition. Make a line on it. Fold the paper in half. Write down your fears, your anger, your passivity, disgustingness, and turn it into something positive. And that positive part, that's going to be your prayers. Be a powerhouse of energy. And let your candles illuminate like fireworks your prayers. You pour candles, pour sweet candles, or breaking, exploding, burning down houses and everything. My God. God bless the candles. And God bless you guys for doing what you know. But there is another way. My shop is on sd.com, and my shop is Happiness Matters 88. If you search for that, you will see my shop. It's a beautiful, high energy, vibrating shop. And also, if you need to contact me, my email address is happinessmatters88@gmail.com. And, if you want to have a discussion, we can have a discussion. But like I said, I don't deal with anything that deals with going against somebody's free will. I don't deal with that. I don't deal with hexes, curses. I don't deal with any of that kind of stuff. What I do is I cleanse. We work on energy cleansing. So in a part of your herbal blend, it will remove things. It will remove stuff. And it will cleanse your way. But I only work in the highest light. I don't work on trying to battling this and battling that. I don't do that. I go into sacred space and I work with the divine and we get it going. And I work with 100 different herbs, and what has led to me is what the combination is. And no formula is the same. And then I have the house blessings. There's a certain way to clean your house. I have the house blessings. I have the candles, the power candles. I have saint candles if people want to have a saint candle. I have oils, for anointing your candle. I can make candles, I make personalized candles. I use tuning forks for sound healing and vibration energy. There's a lot of wonderful stuff going on over here. So come over to Happiness Matters, reach out to me on Gmail if you want. And I'm here. I just have to give this message to you. Even if one person on this earth hears it, at least it was heard. And there is a way. There is a faster way and a stronger and a more powerful way. But until then, if you're into burning candles until they're clear, if that's the only way, then I guess continue on. But, I'm telling you, God is all powerful, all merciful. And we do have the access of the kingdom. We do. We just have to, there's certain things that we just need to do. And we need to keep ourselves in a very bright, purified state. Especially when you're working on something. And we need to know, when we're in murky situations or whatever, we need to have that golden shield, and carry our crystals around us. And, I wear a red string always because I've always had black eyes. I've had a few healers tell me that there was a lot of black eyes on me. I've always had that since I was a child. And so I will continue to wear my red string for that. And if I have a video on red strings, and I'll tell you, these things are powerful. And they really do a shield. But this message is long enough. I hope that it was helpful and insightful. I hope it was to make you think about stuff. It's so much deeper than this. It really is. But God bless the people out there that are helping the people with candles and moving stuff around and helping people, cleansing people. And God bless you guys. You guys are doing great work too. But there is another way, and this might be another interesting way to go. And think about it. This message is from God's Valentina. I'm an energy healer. And once again, my shop is Happiness Matters 88 on sd.com, and also have Gmail at happinessmatters88@gmail.com. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much. And stay cleansed, stay blessed, and stay empowered. Okay? Bye.